You mentioned how residents were given $700 per household. Has anything changed since then? Have you received any more money?
Nothing from FEMA, nothing from the federal government, nothing more than $700. It's been 3 weeks.
Given the cost of living in Hawaii, specifically in the lahaina community, is anything being done right now? Are there considerations or efforts being made to try to raise that cap, that $700 figure for those who are there?
Yeah, the $700 figure of critical needs assistance is really just that amount of funding for some of the very immediate needs that individuals have.
And what is your reaction to House Republicans who say that they're urging an investigation into the federal response in Maui?
Well, I welcome a federal response in Maui. I think that they should go out and talk to every elected official, from the mayors to the governors to the United States senators to the congresspersons. I welcome, and once they go out and see it, then I'm sure they'll provide the money.
Press conferences certainly have been taking very strange turns this week. First, we saw Mitch McConnell frozen for nearly half a minute.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
Yep.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
And then we had the Maui press conference, which turned into quite a heated spectacle.
Let me finish, brother. I'm just saying the timeline. We've been looking at the timeline.
What I'm trying to say is,
We'll get to that. But first, some of the most obvious questions still remain unanswered. Questions like, where are all of the children? Let's take a closer look at the Hawaiian State Department of Education's very own data. You'll see here that the August 8th pre-fire enrollment was at 3,001 students. Now, after the devastating blaze, there are 2,025 children unaccounted for. These are students who normally are enrolled by now. Keep in mind, those are students only. There has to be so many more toddlers and infants that are not accounted for as well. This means that 2/3, 66% of the kids in West Maui Public School are still missing. Charlie Kirk asked, why are they still slow rolling Maui deaths? 115 confirmed dead, hundreds still missing. When will they update the death toll? What are they hiding? There is a mysterious black curtain hiding something in Maui, along with special police arriving to the scene.
There seems to be a huge emphasis on ensuring that the media and anyone else can't see what's going on here in Lahaina, West Maui. There are miles and miles of this black fence going up that was not here before, that is obscuring ground zero and making sure no one can see what's going on inside of there from the road. No one can get in there. No one can take any pictures. And then I've also seen these weird foreign police cars showing up, these special police, I'm not sure what to call them. This is a Nissan, but there's quite a large presence of these standing guard around the perimeter. That I tried to get out of my car and show what was going on. I was almost immediately, after these 20 seconds, National Guard came, chased me off, yelled at me, told me to get back in my car and keep moving. So you cannot pull over. You can't even stop your car anywhere near any of this anymore.
As you'll hear, conspiracy is fed by censorship.
Because when you lock things down and you don't allow media, it can allow for alternative theory. It becomes a lot of speculation about what's going on.
Conspiracy is fed by censorship. That's what you need to know.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
A conspiracy, as we all know, is just the truth arriving 6 months early.
Hundreds of Americans are still missing after the deadly Maui fires. Many of them missing children. The Hawaii Electric Company was negligent with their downed power lines and are now involved in a cover-up. Water held back from firefighters. Roads were even blocked, trapping Americans inside the inferno. And FEMA officials have been staying at 5-star luxury resorts.
When you visit a fast food restaurant and there's something wrong with your order, you can ask to speak to a manager or a supervisor. You know they're in charge and they're going to make that order right. However, on the island of Maui, when there is a deadly disaster, or let's just call it what it is, a massacre, apparently nobody is in charge and nobody knows who is supposed to be. With all of the top officials being away from the island of Maui during this emergency, who exactly was left in charge? They were aware of the mile-a-minute winds they keep bringing up, but yet did not establish any escape routes? If in fact the road was clear and there were no power lines down, or maybe they were, but the power was shut off, then this is worse than we all suspected. Or maybe it's just like we all suspected. The roads were barricaded and sealed everyone in, and the only survivors were those who disobeyed orders. Deflections, lies, and BS. As you'll see at the recent press conference, the boss of the island of Maui cannot answer the simple question of who was in charge of communications. The mayor of Maui, still to this day, he doesn't know who was in charge. He doesn't even know his own whereabouts and will not even answer as to where he was or what he was doing the night of the fire.
Now, Mayor Bisson would not say what he was doing or where he was the night the fire destroyed Lahaina and left at least 115 dead.
Maui County's highest-ranking official said he still doesn't know who was calling the shots at the county's emergency management center.
I'm not sure who was in charge. I think Herman Andaya was still in charge. He just wasn't present. He was in contact with his team, I guess by phone. I don't know exactly how.
But wouldn't tell reporters where he was the rest of the day.
I don't have all of that for you. Yeah, I don't have all of that for you.
This is how the mayor responded when pressed about what he knew and when.
Well, I wasn't on social media, so I can't speak. First of all, I'm not going to speak to social media. I wasn't on social media. We didn't have time for that.
He also couldn't explain why the head of Hawaii's emergency management agency wasn't notified anyone had died until the following day.
I don't know who spoke to General Howe. That's my answer to your question.
We don't know how many other people maybe died waiting for a response. You don't think there's anything your agency?
I personally don't think so. That fire was so rapid. And by the time everyone had situational awareness, it was too late, unfortunately.
Incident Commander Major General Hara seems to share the exact same temper level as Mayor Bisson.
It's going to spread. Let me finish, brother.
I'm just saying the timeline. We've been looking at the timeline.
What I'm trying to say is that fire was so rapid. And by the time everyone had situational awareness, it was too late, unfortunately. But that's all I'm trying to say.
Meanwhile, the fire department confirmed its radios were working.
It's unclear what action, if any, was taken in those 25 minutes by whoever was in charge that day at Maui's Emergency Operations Center.
Nearly a month has passed, and Maui Mayor Bisson, he's still refusing to provide clear answers that the people deserve. Instead, we see him constantly irritated and annoyed from being asked basic, simple questions. This government official can't seem to make it through one press conference without getting angry and bothered. Even though he's the mayor, he seems to accept zero responsibility. Let us not forget these are public servants who have failed the people of Maui. UFC fighter BJ Penn flew to Maui to hear Governor Josh Green's Build Beyond Barriers meeting, and Penn, well, he hit back hard.
Look at Josh Green, how weak man. What happened? I came inside, what? He got to go check his bevities? What is going on? He's supposed to
Please not that. Let's not do that. This is not that kind of a meeting. It's not a political meeting or a campaign meeting.
Yeah, no,
this is serious business.
But you saying that is very, that really bothers me. You're not being a waiter. You talk to your boss like that. I'm your boss.
And then there's Police Chief John Pelletier, who keeps saying the following.
He's urging people to submit DNA samples to help identify family members.
It's not just ash on your clothing when you take it off. It's our loved ones. God bless you. God bless Maui.
Pelletier says his team is going to do it right versus doing it fast.
Why we want to do this right, like I said before, so that we do this the right way.
He's also telling everyone to just trust the process.
And so that's why we've got a process, and I need folks to trust the process as we build and go through this.
Keep in mind, Pelletier's process is the same one that still leaves the Las Vegas incident a mystery 6 years later. Hawaiian House Republican Diamond Garcia is calling for a legislative investigation into the deadly Lahaina fire.
Well, the fact is people are confused. It's been 3 weeks, Jesse, and
There's not been any clear answers. I mean, these people lost everything, their homes, their families, their loved ones, their children, and they're crying for answers. They need answers. And unfortunately, the response from the federal, state, and county governments has been pretty quiet. When asked what the death count was for children, the answer was, I don't know. When asking FEMA and calling FEMA for more resources, they get the voicemail. So people are frustrated here in Hawaii, and it's really sad to see this kind of federal response.
Let's focus in now on how the actual people of Lahaina are feeling and what they're saying.
And if this is just a money issue for you guys, get out of your seat, please. Nani, you speak about talking to the people. Hold a meeting in Lahaina Civic Center or wherever they have room for, and hear the people, hear their stories, hear their heartbreak, hear their demise. You can turn that off because I'm not going to end until I end, and I'm not being disrespectful. You cannot limit the people's voice to 3 minutes. This is devastation. The people are the ones who got the donations to them, the water, the food, the clothing. Guess what? Coast Guard, FEMA, trying to stop us from going in. While the people inside Lahaina is suffering. The president, come on. He couldn't even pronounce names correctly. Why was he here? A photo op or truly for the people? You folks here should be asking the people what they need. Not the representatives sitting in state legislature. The people. Local authority housing or council housing is housing you can live in that is owned by the local authority. No, it should be owned by the people. You have to apply for local authority housing. Your council will assess your needs and decide if you are high priority. Every person in Maui is a high priority right now. There is tons of land in Maui. Why move them to the Big Island? Now you stress Big Island people. Please don't make this a job. Make this your mission to get these people back on their feet.
People in Maui are being evicted from their homes, and as we know, BlackRock has been on a mission to buy up all of the single-family homes with cash offers because the ultimate plan is for people not to own anything. While FEMA officials representing the United States government are relaxing in their $1,300 a night luxury resort rooms in the Four Seasons, Maui fire victims finally received some temporary housing, all thanks to the government. Well, the Hungarian government, that is. What makes this even more frustrating is that we heard from the CEO of American company Boxable, who also provides tiny temporary homes, but the government did not respond to his generous offer of donating 200 homes for survivors. That's going to do it for today's video. If you feel I earned it, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Share your thoughts with all of us by leaving a comment in the section below. As always, I truly appreciate your continued support of both these videos and this channel, so thank you. I hope to see you on the next video. Have yourself a great day and take care.